guest speaker. He is motivational speaker, entrepreneur, and athlete. Let's put our hands together for Kaz Langness.
Appreciate it. Thank you. First of all, I want you guys to clap it up for yourselves. All right. Because this is summer, this is not required, but yet you're still here. So that means that you want to be great in some area of your life. And with that being said, that means that you are trying to lead your life to areas where you know you can go, right? We're going to discuss today on leadership, integrity, character. But first, I need you to answer this question. What is a leader? How do you define leadership or a leader? You can write or you can answer it to me. Someone answer, what is a leader?
Somebody who steps up.
Someone who steps up? How about you? What's a leader?
I'd say someone who wants to make the group better. When we go up in the gym, someone is always the line leader, and they're the one starting it off for everyone else.
Mm-hmm. What's that? Takes initiative when needed. Yep. Can I get one more?
Remember to speak up so we can hear you in the back.
Someone who puts the team first.
Someone who puts the team first. Love that answer. You got one? When I think of leader, I think of someone who's willing to lay it out there for someone else, who's not worried about themselves, right? Because a leader is in control of their own energy. And a leader is supposed to take control of their energy so they can help orchestrate someone else to bring their best energy. When you think of leadership, you think of someone who's going to not one, tell you what to do, but also show you how to do it, and who's also displaying it in their own life. You know? Because it's really, really, really hard to have someone do something when you're not willing to do it yourself. You can't expect your coaches to do it. And your coaches can't expect you to do it if they're not willing to do it themselves. You can't expect great things to happen if you're not leading the person that's supposed to be in your shoes. So when we talk about leadership, we're going to go through 4 principles, all right? 4 principles, pretty easy. When you want to discuss leadership, you want to be able to take the risk. When we talk about risk, that is R, resiliency. When I think of resiliency, I think of Rocky Balboa. Who's watched any Rocky movies? Yep. And there's this quote that he had to his son. Because his son, he was going through a hard time. You know, he had the last name of Balboa. Everyone already knew him. Everyone already knew what he consists of. They're wondering, why aren't you a boxer like your dad? Why aren't you tough like your dad? And there's this one scene that will always stick out to me. You know, I love to pull messages from movies because if you watch movies with the right kind of mindset and right kind of approach, you can take a lot of things and apply it to your life. And so this was on the street at night. His son was like, do you not care what other people think about you? Here's what Rocky said. Why would I care what other people think about me when I know who I am? The world isn't always rainbows and sunshine. It's a very mean and nasty place. It'll beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. Me, you, or nobody's going to hit as hard as life. But it's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning's done. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you must be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you aren't where you want to be because of him, her, or anybody. That's what cowards do. And I know you're not a coward. And catch this. I'm always going to believe in you. But this is the line right here. But until you start believing in yourself, you're not going to have a life. Leaders believe in themselves. You know, I love that quote by him because not one is it near the end of the series, Rocky series. But two, you saw that displayed throughout all of Rocky's life. Especially in Rocky 4, when he was about to face the guy who just beat to death Rocky's best friend. And so he's about to go face this fighter over in Finland. And he has this conversation with his wife. And his wife says, "You're not going to win." Now, if you ask me, and my significant other told me that, I'm like, all right, you're getting out of the house right now. This is my house. Everything that we have is because of me. But if you say that, where's the support system, right? It's like your mom saying you're not any good. It's like your dad saying, hey, you suck. Like, where's that support system? It's supposed to be there. And here's what Rocky said. If he wants to win, he's going to have to kill me. In order to kill me, he must be willing to die himself. Resiliency. Being willing to not give up when the going gets hard. Being willing to stay true to who you are. Being willing to continue fighting. Because the world's not always sunshine and rainbows. And it's not always just about a sport or how good you are or how great you are. Because no matter what, it doesn't matter how pretty you are, how good looking you are, how smart you are, how athletic you are. Adversity is going to hit you regardless. Challenges are going to appear. Opposition is going to be faced. And if you do not establish and instill that principles of resiliency inside of your life, it's going to be very, very, very hard to get up that hill. Because this world wants to keep you down. It wants to keep you down. When we discuss leadership, we discuss opportunities. We discuss things in our life that others may not see of us, but we know are inside of us. Because not everyone's meant to be a leader. Reports say there's like 6 out of 100 people are actually going to be a leader. That's pretty slim to me. I'm not good at math. I was never good at math, but that's like 6% or something, right? Yeah? And so here is what I want you to ask yourself. Am I being resilient? Is resiliency going to help me lead my life better? Growing up, I ran cross country in high school. And going into my senior year, I was like, man, I need this captain spot. I need it. I need it. I want it. I know I deserve it. I'm the number one runner. I have to have it. But at the end of my junior year, I committed a misdemeanor of illegal entry trespass into a house. And no one really knew about that because I kept it private. I kept it to myself, and I didn't really feel, I wasn't ashamed to like tell other people. I was just very, very embarrassed, and like I didn't know what I was even doing, right? And so my mom, she told my coach right away, which was stupid, I thought. But my coach was actually there every step of my way to help me and to help lead me through that adverse time, through what I put myself in. I put myself in that predicament. I was the only person that I was going to get myself out of it. And I know sometimes in life, and especially in your sport, you may want to be a captain. You may think you deserve it. And I thought I deserved it because I was the best runner. But honestly, it doesn't matter about being the best. It matters about leading your life the best and how you're going to lead your life the best. I wasn't leading my life the best. I was talking the talk, but I wasn't walking the walk. I was just saying, hey, I need to be captain. I know I should be captain. But if someone came to me and said, hey, listen, I'm going through a hard time right now, and I just want to go do something stupid, I would have went right with them. Because I was already doing stupid stuff. I was already being dumb. But if someone came to me and said, hey, listen, I need to start studying for this test. You want to study with me? I wouldn't have studied with them. And that's what leaders do. Leaders encourage. Leaders are there for one another. Leaders push each other and push their teammates and push one another. So being able to stay resilient with it, being able to have that opportunity to lead. Because being a leader is a great opportunity to further your life in a way of where you know you want it to be. So R for resiliency. I, integrity. In order to lead, you must have integrity. In order to lead, you must have the wherewithal to know what's right and what's wrong. In order to lead, you must be willing to do the small things, because the small things are the most important things of life. What sport do you play?
Volleyball.
Volleyball. What's the first step in volleyball?
Guys, learning the basics.
Learning the basics. What sport do you play? Basketball. What's the first step in basketball? Fundamentals. Ball handling. Is Steph Curry the greatest shooter and one of the greatest players ever because he can just shoot? No. Why is he one of the greatest players?
Because he works hard and like he runs for and he like tires out his defenders so he can get open and make their shots.
Tires out his defenders. Integrity. You might see what Steph does on the court in front of thousands, but you don't see all the times he's running in that gym with no cameras. Deion Sanders, one of the greatest football players of all time, he had this interview, and he was saying, they were showing like his highlights of his career. He had them stop the video and catch this. Here's what he says. He's like, those aren't my top plays. Whether you believe it or not, those are not my top plays. And when I first saw it, I was like, how? What other plays are they top? Like high school? That's nothing. And he goes on to say, my top plays happened when no one was watching. My top plays happened in Fort Myers when no one knew about me. My top plays happened at practice. And catch this right here. Because I practiced like I played. So when the game came around, it was just like practice. Integrity. Doing what you're supposed to do when no one's watching. Doing what you're supposed to do when no one believes in you. Doing what you're supposed to do when the world's got you at ground zero, but you know you belong up in the sky. Doing what you're supposed to do, even though you're not getting the validation. Doing the small things, the little things. Getting on that floor. Bump, set, spike. Because you can't have a spike if you don't bump. You can't have a three-point shot if you don't know how to dribble. You can't catch a pass if you're not running the route right. You sure can't lead your life if you're not living with integrity. Because the cameras aren't always on. Anyone can blow up by giving their best in front of thousands of people for 2 hours. But what do they do in the other 22 hours? That's what counts. That's where your character is displayed. And character is not something that you're just born with. You know, character is something that you need to instill in your life every single day. Character is something that is going to keep you at a place longer than you should be staying. When I first started out speaking, I started with 6 people, 4 people, 7 people. I didn't have different crowds. I didn't have larger crowds, larger audiences. But I didn't give up because I realized some people really just need that. Some people really just thrive off of that. Some people feel like that's what their life is. Some people need to be in front of thousands of people to feel like they matter. But what I told myself always was, I'm not going to reach 100 people if I speak to thousands. I need to reach one person. And if I speak to 4 people, I know I'm reaching 1. If I speak to 20 people, I know I'm reaching 1. And if I do the small things later on in life, God will bless me with the larger things. It might not just be 1, maybe it'll be 2. It might not be 1 highlight, but maybe it'll be 2 highlights by doing the small things. Because the small things lead to the further things that will produce greatness out of your life. Resiliency. It might be small, but I'll tell you what. Continue to take that step, the small steps, because who went from crawling to running right away? We got an extraordinary human in here? Who went from crawling to taking a step and then falling? Me. I did. Who went from crawling to taking 2 or 3 steps and then falling? I did. Who went from crawling to walking and then doing that baby trot and then falling? I did. Small things. Taking a step, falling. Taking a step, falling. Because adversity is going to hit. You're going to fall in life. But resiliency and having that integrity and character instilled inside of you will allow you to get right back up. Will allow those who don't believe in you, will allow those who don't see what you want to accomplish, see your vision, to eventually see it. Because you practice like you play. 3. Sacrifice. R.I.S. Sacrifice. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Sacrifice is probably one of the most important things of my life. Because I was at a point not too long ago. I'm still pretty young, I would say, 24 years old. But I was at a point in my life where I was in college. I was focused on partying. I was focused on girls. I was focused on, getting drunk, things of that manner. I was focused on the worldly things. And there's no way you could ask me on a weekend, Saturday or Sunday or Friday night, if I wanted to stay inside and produce something good out of my life, or if I wanted to go get drunk. I'd rather go drink with my friends. I'd rather do the dumb things of the world that were going to produce nothing, lead me down a path of where I shouldn't go down, rather than lead me down a path of where my life was going to be valuable. My life was going to add value to other people's life. My life was going to mean something. When I think about sacrifice, especially in the sports realm, I think about sacrificing your body for your teammate. Taking that charge when your teammate got beat. Diving for that ball even though that wasn't supposed to be your spot. Sacrificing your body. Sacrificing what you want to accomplish right now for what you want to accomplish in the future. Because when you realize what sacrifice really does for you, you're going to be thankful for it. There's a story about Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace, Mamba. He's my GOAT. I don't know about you guys. I don't even know who Jordan is, to be honest, or LeBron. But Kobe, the 2008 Olympics, the Redeem Team, they weren't getting the job done in the previous Olympics. They were struggling. They weren't even getting gold, maybe bronze. So they bring in Kobe, Coach K. And Coach K knew what he was getting with Kobe. He knew he was getting a dog. He knew he was getting a leader. He knew he was getting the greatest player. So when Kobe came in, and they had their practice at Vegas, we all know about Vegas. What needs to be said doesn't need to be explained. And so with Vegas, They had LeBron, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, Carlos Boozer, all those guys. So they went out one night, all to the clubs, all to the, their fun, temporary fun, satisfaction. So they get back at like 5:30 a.m., 6 a.m., and they see Kobe in the lobby with his bag. They're like, bro, what are you doing? I'm going to get some work in. While they're all coming back from a night out, Kobe's getting work done. You want to talk about leadership? That's leadership. You want to talk about sacrifice? That's sacrifice. Sacrificing the temporary fun, what the world says is fun, for the future and for what you know you need to be doing. Because Kobe was brought there to win. Kobe was brought there to lead. And he knew that if he went out with those guys, that wasn't doing his job. That wasn't doing what he was called to do. That wasn't doing what he had his duty to do. He would have been selling himself short. And some of you right now may be selling yourself short. Some of you right now may not be sacrificing what you know you should sacrifice. Some of you right now might not be leading in a way you want to lead your life because you aren't sacrificing the things that you know you should sacrifice to lead your life. Now, I want you to ask this question real quick. Answer this question to yourself. Where do you want to be in the next 3 to 6 months? Because when 6 months hit, it'll be 2024 now. Crazy. Time flies. So where do you want to be in the next 3 to 6 months? What can you sacrifice right now that was going to help you accomplish that? Because we all have goals. We all have something we want to accomplish. Maybe it's, do you guys go by semesters or trimesters? Semesters, quarters. So maybe you want to get a 3.5 and above. Maybe you want to hit varsity for the fall. Maybe you want to have that opportunity. Because if you want to hit varsity for the fall, for the winter, even for the spring, you're going to have to sacrifice something. That's going to be time. Maybe hit their weights more, hit the film more, not be spending as much time on video games, not be hanging out with as many guys or as many girls, sacrificing the things that you need for the future to be accomplished. Because once Kobe sacrificed that time, and once they saw him leading, it was a domino effect. LeBron started waking up and doing workouts. Wade started waking up and doing workouts. Bosh, who's like, nah, 4 a.m. way too early. No, that Carmelo's like, nah, I'm not doing that 4 a.m. I'll do that at 6. But he even started working out. It's a domino effect. Once you lead, then others will follow suit. Others will eventually start following your lead, and then you'll see the final result, which was they won gold because of Kobe leading, because of Kobe doing his job, doing what he was brought in to do. Right now, for me, in order to lead you guys, I have to lead myself. Which that means I have to wake up, be resilient. I have to wake up, live with integrity. I have to wake up and sacrifice what my friends are doing, where they want me to be, sacrifice the food that I shouldn't be eating. Because as athletes, nutrition's big. And you can't just work out and then go eat 5 bags of Doritos or 4 pizzas and sit on the couch and play video games or watch movies. Gotta sacrifice that food. Most importantly, you gotta sacrifice. You gotta sacrifice the temporary. And I'm not sure what the temporary is for you guys because we all have our own journey. But I can tell you, if you sacrifice the temporary, your future It's gonna be beautiful, man. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be something where you know you need it to be. One thing Kobe always liked to say, right? He had this quote by his teacher, Mr. Fisk. He said, "Rest at the end, not in the middle." Right now, you don't want to sacrifice when you're tired. Right now, you want to rest when you know you got to go another down and back. Right now, you don't want to put in the work. But you got to remember, rest at the end. Because what you want to accomplish, when you sacrifice it now and you wait till the end and rest, you'll see what it does for your life. I can't be up here with you guys. I can't be present with you guys if I don't sacrifice. If I don't put in and wake up those early hours, if I don't resist the sleep that I want to wait until 9 o'clock to wake up instead of 6 o'clock and waking up, if I don't resist the people and the things that I know I shouldn't be doing, if I don't resist the alcohol, if I don't resist the girls, if I don't resist wasting money on things that I shouldn't spend money on, if I don't resist not doing the things that I know I need to do and get done, as in putting in my time, studying, perfecting the craft, working on the craft, making sure that I am present with where I am at, being able to sacrifice, resiliency, integrity, sacrifice. Now, I was always good in school with spelling, but I like to say my show, my rules. And so risk is usually spelled with a K, but we're going with a C this time. So C, commitment. Before we get on commitment, we're going to see how you guys are doing. What is the leader? What's a leader? Yeah. Huh? Oh, you. All right, how about you? What's a leader? Let's stay with basketball. There you go. How do leaders act?
Remember to speak loud. Volume reflects confidence.
How do leaders act, Miss Volleyball? There you go. How do leaders respond? What's your name?
Xavier.
Xavier.
They get other people to help them out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Help others.
They respond with resiliency, right? Not knocked down. Now, am I being a leader in my own life? The next two are important because we got like 15. We got 10, 15 minutes left. And this next one's big. All right? This next one's big. Commitment. Who knows what commitment is? What's commitment? I know I can rely on you.
A devotion is something, just like really driven to do something and determined to get to one thing and really change that.
Yeah. Devotion and determination. I love those two words right there. Good choice. Commitment. Will you stay true to what you said you're going to do long after the mood you said it in has left? It's easy to stay committed when you say, oh man, I cannot wait for football season. I can't wait for basketball season. But what happens when you start losing games? What happens when you start losing playing time? What happens when you start not getting what you think you deserve? Commitment. You can't be committed without resiliency. You can't be committed without integrity. You can't be committed without sacrificing. When I think of commitment, as you know, like I said, I love pulling messages from movies. I think of Facing the Giants. And Brock, the leader of the team, the best player of the team, he got on my nerves, man. He got on my nerves. He was asked this question. No, he wasn't asked this question. His teammate asked this question. He asked his coach, "Hey, coach, how strong is Westview this year?" And here's what Brock said. A lot stronger than us. What are you doing if one of your teammates says that? What are you doing when one of your teammates already writes off you guys even having a chance to win? That's not leadership. That's not commitment. And the coach, he's like, "Brock, you already writing this off?" He's like, "Well, if I knew we were better than them, I wouldn't be. You guys haven't even played yet." And so the coach has Brock say, "Hey," calls Brock over, "Hey, Brock, come here. Who knows what a death crawl is?" What's a death crawl, coach?
I mean, it's not.
You don't know what death crawl is? All right, death crawl is you are like this on your hands and legs and walking. And usually, you don't have anyone on your back. You're just crawling for like 20 yards, 40 yards, 30 yards, however long. But this time, the coach says, "Brock, can you go to the 50-yard line?" He's like, "I can do 20. He's like, "No, I know you can do 50. He's like, "But I'm going to have you do 50 with Jeremy on your back." Calls Jeremy over. Jeremy latches on. And the coach asked him, "Brock, will you give me your best?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll give my best." He's like, "No, will you give me my best?" He's like, "Yeah, give me my best." He's like, "No, Brock, will you actually give me your best?" Brock's like, "All right, yeah, I'll give you my best." So they get on, they get going. 10 yards, strong. 20 yards, strong. 30 yards, strong. 35, takes a little bit of a breather. Coach says, "Don't quit on me, Brock." He's like, "I'm not quitting. I'm just taking a break." Continues. 45, 50. And at this point, like, before he started, he was blindfolded. So he had no idea how far he was going. So he starts feeling the fatigue set in. He starts getting tired. 55, 60. He's like, it hurts. "Keep going, Brock. Keep going. You said you give me your best." "It hurts." "Keep going, Brock. You said you give me your best." "It hurts." "Keep going, Brock. You said you give me your best." He's going 70 yards right now. And Brock's like, "I'm about out of strength." And catch this. That's when you negotiate with your heart and find more strength. When you're about out of strength. When you're tired. 30 yards left. "Keep going, Brock. You said you give me your best. Give me your very best, Brock. Give me your very best, Brock. Keep going." He's got 20 yards left.